Now is this Zoe's room finally?
Nicely done.
Did she see me do that? Oh, for the love of... Did he actually tell me where she lives? Oh, he did, over there. How on earth did I miss this? So that's it then, no more Edgewater for me, no more cannery, no more jumpsuits and gloves, yes moms, and would you like another's? I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake, because I've always hated the cannery and I don't think I'll ever have to look back to this journal many years hence, and tell myself, oh, wow, I did hate the veil once, didn't I, just because I got sick. Everybody gets sick. Well, okay, I got sick and I grabbed a little too much Adrena time. Is that really a crime? I gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's own bootstraps? Oh, but you misappropriate one box of Adrena time and suddenly you're committing larceny. Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today is the day you take your destiny into your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about the marauder threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires. Probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me, living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. I've been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of salt tuna. Should last me a couple weeks if I ration. Got some Adrena time too. Everybody loves Adrena time. Even marauders, right? I got odds those marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple syringes of Adrena time before their eyes. This is gonna be great. Look out, Terra 2. Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. I'm gonna have a whole gang of marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos. She went to join marauders? Really? Good news. I'm alive. Starting to feel a little better, too. There's a group of deserters living out in the old botanical labs. They found a way to grow some food, or something that passes for food, anyway. Adelaide boiled a pot of something green and leafy and told me to drink it twice a day for my symptoms, I suppose. Tastes atrocious, but I've been feeling better. It's nice to be away from the cannery. The labs have just enough power to run an etherwave, so I've been catching up on my serial dramas. Masked Marketeer, what would I do without you? Go crazy, most likely. Crack up, murder all my neighbors and run screaming into the hills like some wild marauder. I don't know. That doesn't sound too bad. I could see myself leading a cadre of marauders. A band of bandits. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Band of bandits? What would we call ourselves? The Formidable 14. The 100 Hooligans, featuring Zoe, Bandit Queen. So they even have medicine here.
Something I can help you with?
I know where Zoe's gone.
I'll help if I can.
Never mind. One of Zoe's journal entries revealed that she secretly planned to run away and join the marauder camp to the east. Now that you know her location, head to the camp and see if she's okay. That's really close.
Okay, here we
I'm a little worried to just start shooting everyone. What if I kill Zoe?
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Something there.
Here they come! Nice one! Everyone all right?
A collectible tossball card. Well, I like collecting things. You shush. Oh, hello.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
Are you Zoe? Your people are looking for you.
What, you mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
I've been sent to find you. Kind of. I mean, I offered.
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
I need you to clarify something for me.
I'm great at clarifying.
Are you a prisoner here?
No. I insinuated myself into their company, see? And they didn't seem to mind one whit.
I'm impressed. They just shoot me on sight. How do you pull it off?
I may have bartered them a few boxes of Adrena time, but yeah, I'm sure that's got nothing to do with it.
Why did you leave camp?
I got kicked out of Edgewater on account of falling sick with plague and stealing some medicine to treat myself. I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical labs. I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always wanted to be an outlaw myself. Instead, what do I find but a bunch of former workers camped out around a greenhouse? I couldn't just go back to the cannery, so I was stuck with them.
How are you even alive?
I don't know. The vital processes that constitute the miracle of life are mysterious and unknowable. Oh, you mean around these guys? The Marauders wouldn't hurt me. They love me. I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
There was something else actually.
I've got all the time in Halcyon.
You should go back. People are worried.
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me.
What about Stefan? You two were friends.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Also, he could carry on a conversation, unlike these hooligans. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is going to be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Take care, Zoe.
Yeah, huh?
Are you gonna go?
Look, I already bought what you were selling me. Just give me some time to gather up my personals.
Fair enough.
What is it?
I talked Zoe into coming back.
We didn't always get along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
Let's not get her in too much trouble. Something about wanting to be an outlaw. I'd rather not get into it.
You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Zoe says she fought her way out of a marauder camp with her own bare hands.
She's back already? She must use fast travel.
Anything else I can do for you?
When we first talked, you assumed I'd come to live here.
I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are.
I don't imagine you get a lot of visitors.
My dear, we are all visitors in a momentary universe. Our lives flicker in and out like the guttering of a flame. Here now, then gone. Me and mine are just carrying on as best we can, trying to live our lives in a way that does not feel wasted.
Why are you telling me all this?
A little prattling never hurt anyone, dear. You might even catch a little sense, if you listen close enough. I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life.
You could always continue your way of life back in town.
Not under Reed's watch. He and I would come to blows within a day, and he would never tolerate my tending to a garden. This is my home. It will be my home even if Reed cuts our power. Simple as that.
You and Reed obviously have some sort of history.
That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. Remember that limited run of white chocolate salt tuna? That was all me.
Yuck. There's obviously more to it than that.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Sounds like the town turned its back on you.
A fish rots from the head down. I do not blame the town. I blame the leader.
Well, same, but you're suggesting I take power away from the whole town, not just its leader. Okay, let's go and have a chat with Thompson. You know there is a third way out of this. But you won't like it.
Where are we headed?
My offer remains standing should you reconsider.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
Go ahead.
Have you taken a look around your town lately?
It is my job to keep 2 eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post.
Your town is falling to pieces?
I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
You disagree?
Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do.
How long have you worked here?
I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether. I remember looking out this window and seeing the veils spread out from horizon to horizon. We were a sprawling town. We were booming. Times change, people change, but the veil will always be here. Spacer's Choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that.
You're loyal to Spacer's Choice.
This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude.
Spacer's Choice doesn't even care about you. The
Go
plant
ahead.
was the only place making any profit, and they even abandoned that. They sabotaged the robots and killed everyone. We need to have a word about this plague.
Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up.
You withhold medicine from your own workers.
If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose.
I can't really argue with that, to be honest. You let Adelaide's son die.
Adelaide's son was barely competent. I treat him with our medical rations, and it looks like I'm playing favorites. Now, I will not pretend to understand the suffering Adelaide must have felt on account of losing her child, but she is not the only one to have felt such suffering. I wish she had stayed with us. Adelaide left us when we needed her most.
How long has this plague been happening?
That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent.
You should have developed an immunity after repeated exposure to a single strain of contagion.
Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude, and it is one we will see through to the end.
Bullshit. Oh, the marauders are back. Can't really be bothered fighting them. Let's go this way. Could that be the cave that was mentioned in that note? Where the books are? When they said it was by the river, I wasn't exactly expecting it to be in the river. Ow.
That was quick.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? Journal of Ember Konu. Oh jeez.
We can handle this!
Ouch.
To garbage disposal. Alt.
Here we go!
Okay, so, here's my thinking. The deserters are just trying to escape from oppression. Adelaide herself is being a bit of a poo, but I think everyone else there deserves to have a nice life for themselves. I can sort of understand Thompson not being able to medicate everyone and not being able to pick favorites, but he's also telling everyone that they're getting sick because they're not working hard enough and that they should work through it to heal themselves or whatever. He's awful, and the company is awful. Everyone can go join the deserters and live there, right? They have food and medicine. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, continue. Please select a destination. Redirect power to Botanical Laboratory. Power successfully redirected to Botanical Laboratory. Edgewater power regulator is now safe to remove. Botanical Laboratory power regulator is now operating at optimal capacity. Additional structural damage detected. Permanent power failure detected in Edgewater.
I can't stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are gonna be alright now they got power, but what about the town? All those people.
Yeah, but they can join the deserters now, right? Right? Can I turn these fences off? Disarm security fences.
You hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispers across the Vale like the winds of change. You've done well. I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence.
Kinda wanna say this, but what happens now?
Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go.
And a lot more mouths to feed.
Not as many as you'd think. We're not about to let the whole town join our flock. Just the ones willing to renounce their corporate loyalties and live the way nature intended. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals, so it stands to reason you risked your life.
Between your camp and Reed's cannery, yours is the better way of life.
You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined.
Let's see how Zoe's doing. Oh, she's asleep. Well, let's not wake her. I suppose it's time to visit Edgewater. Something tells me I'm not going to be very welcome there.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
I don't owe you an explanation.
You're right. I put the fate of our town in the hands of some feckless transient. This is my fault, and all Edgewater's paying for my mistake. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted, with orders to fire on you.
What's going to happen to Edgewater?
Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence.
You know, I actually am sorry. Not for you, you can rot. I'm sorry about the people here. Living in the deserter camp won't be for everyone, but it's got to be better than working for you.
Apologies won't give us our lives back. But for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
I don't want to kill these guards if I can help it. I have some armor that improves my stealth, I think. This is unfortunate.
Here they come! Nice one! Huh, there was a terminal here before.
What was that?
Here they come!
Get him!
Don't mess with us.
Well, I guess that's that. Oh right, I have that book for the vicar. Would he actually want to talk to me now? Can I read the book? Guess not. I'd like to avoid him if I can. And any guards.
All the lights in town went out. Since then, I've had wild-eyed workers begging my guidance. I'm surprised you would go along with this action, Ms. Holcomb.
I'm not sure what the right and wrong of it is, sir. But leaving the deserters with neither walls nor lights would have left them to the mercy of marauders.
Let's hope walls alone are sufficient, then.
These people are sick and overworked. Things had to change.
Oh, inarguably. This town was a pustule on the ass of the architect. Metaphorically speaking. You took it upon yourself to decide the fate of strangers. I don't know whether that's confidence or arrogance. Either way, I'm fascinated.
I've got your book.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this... French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn.
Tout à fait de moi.